Hey guys, welcome to Starting Out Solitary. I'm your Thursday host, Michelle, and this week we're talking about discrimination within the pagan community. So this week we're talking about discrimination within the pagan community, and like a lot of the hosts have already said, yes, there's definitely discrimination within the pagan community, just like any community. Every community has its assholes and, people who like to stir up drama and bullshit, and people who like to form little cliques and little groups and just be catty towards other people. Paganism isn't immune to that. And there's, a fair amount of discrimination, I would say, in the online pagan community. And even in my, real life or, in-person pagan community here where I live, where I'm from, there's a certain level of discrimination. It's not as pronounced and it's not as easy to detect, but it's there. As far as the online pagan community, when I first started getting involved in the online pagan community a few years ago, I just assumed that since paganism is such a broad umbrella and consists of so many different types of beliefs and practices and whatever, I just assumed that since it's so broad and since it's so, it varies, there's a lot of people who use the word eclectic to label themselves. I just assumed that everybody would be chill and accepting and cool, and there wouldn't be a bunch of drama, there wouldn't be a bunch of, catty bullshit. And boy, was I wrong. I've seen my fair share of people getting bullied because, their beliefs are different from other people's, or there's a certain, cliquey group of women that like to be bitchy towards anyone who doesn't do things the way they do it, or somebody that, doesn't know enough, like say, for example, a beginner who doesn't really know all that much about the craft or their practice, and they're still learning, but, they feel intimidated and they feel like they need to act like they know more than they do. Well, I can tell when people are acting like they know more than they do. Am I going to be a dick about it? No. But a lot of people online will not hesitate to, start crap and bully you over it and, make you feel even worse about it. It's like, it's not even worth it. So, I've seen discrimination over, people's differing beliefs. I've seen people getting harassed and bullied because they're Christo-pagan, for example. I don't believe in that. I don't understand it. I don't get it at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. But am I going to, discriminate against someone because that's what they believe and that's what they practice? No. That's your life. That's your spiritual, belief, connection, whatever. Who am I to judge you or say it's wrong or right or whatever? But I've seen plenty of people, attack those types of pagans online because, they just don't get it. That's just one example. But a lot of the discrimination online is just drama and catty bullshit. And that's pretty much, sorry if I'm shaking you, I have to hold you. As you can see, I'm doing another car video. But the discrimination I've seen is more along the lines of bullying. And I just stay away from that crap. I don't associate with those kind of people. There's certain, cliquey groups on here, on YouTube, on Facebook, these women who think they're better than everyone else, or, groups of certain kinds of witches who think that they, know it all and are better than everyone else, and they will talk shit about people and whatever. I just stay away from that stuff. I don't pay them any attention, don't acknowledge that kind of behavior. It's irrelevant to me. As far as online, or not online, in real life, or in, personally in my local pagan community, the discrimination I've seen, oddly enough, comes from, because most of the pagans I've encountered and the pagan groups that I've attended and different pagan gatherings that I've attended in my area have been primarily LGBTQ plus whatever, and I'm not LGBTQIA plus whatever. But, I don't care. I'll go to a gathering, and, we're all human. It doesn't really matter what your sexual orientation is. To me, it really doesn't make a damn difference. But I'm the one that's being looked at as the outsider in those situations. And, I've gotten looks and stares, and, I've been in situations or in groups and gatherings where maybe I look too normal, maybe I look too momish, I don't know. I mean, whatever. And so I've had situations where I've felt like I've been shunned, so to speak, or felt like I was being ignored, where I would go to a gathering or go to a group or a meeting, and pretty much, I could see everyone, introducing themselves, socializing, and here I am just sitting there. People are giving me funny looks because I'm not, outwardly gay or lesbian. That's the discrimination I felt in the pagan community locally where I'm at, because, like I said, most of the groups here that I have found are either gay or lesbian, strictly, or they're strictly Wicca. Like, you have to be Wiccan, or you have to be, you have to practice this type of Wicca in order to be a part of this group. And then the other groups that I found that are more open and way more eclectic, they're either way too far away, or I just didn't vibe with the people, but as far as discrimination goes, that's the only discrimination I've felt. And, you can tell when you're being looked at like, or, you're getting the stink eye, or you're getting the, eye rolling in the back of the head, or you could feel when someone's staring and burning holes into the back of your neck, because they're looking at you, and you just feel out of place. And that's, to me, is sort of a way of being discriminated against. I just did not feeling included or, part of the group. And to me, when I think of paganism and what the basic core beliefs of paganism are, honoring nature and Mother Earth and, those types of things, you would think people in this community would be a lot more compassionate, a lot more understanding and accepting of everyone and anyone, no matter what their beliefs, no matter what their background, sexual orientation, color, height, weight, whatever. You would think people would be more accepting than they are. And, when I started interacting in the pagan community a few years ago, that's what I assumed. I just assumed everybody would be chill, and I did incorrectly assume that most of the pagans I encountered would be these, like hippie, love and light people that I see in, like my witchy or crystal shops, the older ladies that are wearing tie-dye and, 50 crystal necklaces and crystals all over themselves and flowers in their hair, and they look high as a kite. That stereotypical pagan image that I had. That's what I assumed most of pagans would be like, just chill. But it's not true. There's discrimination within this community, just like a lot of other communities. I'm also involved in other communities online and in real life, in my local area, and there's lots of discrimination in those communities as well. And it's just, unfortunately, I guess, it's just part of human nature to be, some people are just judgmental assholes. And some people are just catty, drama-seeking bitches. I mean, I don't know. That's all I can think of, because when it comes to, accepting a new person into, my circle or my group or whatever the case may be, I'm open and accepting of everybody, no matter what your beliefs are, no matter what your, you know, background is, your sexual orientation. I don't really care. You know, if you're a cool person and you seem to be just chill and decent and, you know, have morals and you know, common sense and manners, then that's pretty much it. That's my criteria. But anyways, I've rambled on long enough about this. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I'll talk to y'all later.